Welcome back, guys, and today it's all about eggs. That's what we're going to do today. So our level 1 is actually going to be, it's called Egg in a Nest, and so we're going to put that together for you today. You're going to grab your red tray after you wash your hands, aprons on, hair tied up, closed-toed shoes, masks on, and you're ready to go. As far as on your red tray, just a couple of things that you're going to need is your 1/4 teaspoon in your small tin, a bowl, and a plate. So when you're coming up to measure your ingredients that are up here, you're just going to follow the recipe as accordingly. Now, the number of eggs, for example, it's going to be 2 eggs per person in your group. So depending on what your group size is, I'm not going to put on your recipe you need 4 eggs, okay? Because some groups have 4 people right now, some people only have 2 people right now. So that being said, you're going to grab 2 eggs per people in your group. So as far as right now, it's just me, so it's going to grab my 2 eggs. Go ahead and place them in there. And then as far as the salt and pepper, you're just going to do 1/4 teaspoon to start you off. And then of course you have free reign of all the seasonings that are on the shelf there to spice up and season up your eggs. So we're going to go ahead and measure our 1/4 as best we can for salt. And then same thing with our pepper. Over the top. Okay, so we have our salt and pepper mixture. The recipe also is going to say 1 slice of bread per person in your group. So again, you're just going to grab 1 slice of bread and then 1 tablespoon of butter. So this right here is our tray, and now we're going to go back to our kitchen and get started. Hold on, that didn't do it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our eggs, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually butter our bread. So our basket, or nest I should say, is ready to go. So we're just going to take a little bit of our butter and our butter knife, and we're going to go ahead and butter our bread. So kind of similar to just making toast, right? Some of you actually toast the bread first in your toasters and then you add your butter, but since we're going to go ahead and got a little paper on there and kind of grill it at the same time, we are going to go ahead and butter our bread first. Okay, so I kind of just did the outside of the bread, and the reason for that is we're going to go ahead and make a hole in the middle of our nest and just kind of cut away the inside piece a little bit. It's not going to waste, I promise you. Okay, so I kind of just didn't cut it exactly the center, but it's gonna work for us. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put our pan on, and we're gonna put a little Pam spray on there just to help it along. So for sure, there's enough butter probably on my bread, but I just wanna make sure that I'm not burning anything. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my toast in there right now, and it's going to go ahead and start toasting that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab our 1 egg just to start us off. And I think actually the 1 egg works best, but you're going to have 2 eggs per person. So the second egg, I'm going to show you what you can do with that in a second. You always crack your egg in a separate container because you want to make sure that it's a good egg, okay? Because it could be a bad egg. I've cracked an egg before, and unfortunately it's all bloody, and it's happened, you know, within the last, year or so. So we're going to go ahead and whisk up our egg a little bit. Now, some people make their scrambled eggs all differently. Some people add a little bit of milk, some people add a little bit of water. Both options are fine as a filler, or you could just whisk the egg and it makes a scrambled egg. You don't have to add anything extra as far as milk or water to that. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and drop our egg right in the middle of our pan. And then we're going to go ahead and season it up a little bit with our salt and pepper. At this point too, I might have some cheese out. If you and your group decided that you wanted to add a little bit of cheese to your egg, that's fine. Because my toast was kind of ripped on the side, my egg is kind of going all over. But it's a trial and error thing. So we're just going to let that toast and kind of cook on one side, and then we're literally just going to flip it over and see how it looks. All right, so we're going to go ahead and flip our egg in a basket over. And again, you can season a little bit more if you'd like. A little bit of salt and pepper, not much because it's already been cooked on the inside of it. So we're just gonna finish that off. And then we're gonna take our plate here and we're just gonna slide it on the top. I'll probably flip it over one more time just to make sure that the other side has been cooked, and it has. So as you can see, the egg is cooked in the middle of your toast. So you kind of have egg and toast. And like I said, it's kind of fun to have your cheese sprinkle on top. Now remember that center piece there. Now you're just kind of making toast with that center piece, so we don't want it to go to waste. So we're just going to toast our bread a little bit. And we can flip it over. It has plenty of butter on it that it's actually melting and actually putting butter on both sides. But at this point too, you could always add more butter if you wanted to, but it's not needed. And again, I'll have a little bit of cheese out you can sprinkle on top. And we're just doing a lightly toast on both sides. As you can see, it's browning up perfectly. And we're gonna just slide it on the top. And then voila, you have your egg in a nest for breakfast. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and push through, because remember, each person's getting 2 eggs. So now you have the option of doing what you will for the second egg for you and your group. So if you decide to do more scrambled eggs, that's fine. So you're just gonna go ahead and keep adding to your dish here, scramble them up and make sure everyone has an egg. Or you can do the sunny side up. So that was kind of a bad crack, but that's all right. So we have our egg and our pan is hot and ready to go. Sunny side up, you're just gonna let it fry in your pan. Okay, I'm just kind of spreading out the whites of the egg just so it's kind of a bigger piece of an egg. If it starts popping at us, like it's getting really too hot, you're just gonna lower your temperature a bit and it's gonna be cooked fine. If you'd like to try, pretty much almost at this point, you can flip it over if you want an over easy egg, or if you want a poached egg at this point here too, you would just add a little bit of water to your side of the frying pan, and the steam is actually going to cook your poached egg. So those would be 3 different options that you can do as far as cooking an egg in your frying pan. We're gonna actually do the over easy really quick. So again, just kind of cook it up to your liking, however you're gonna eat. Cheese will still be available, so you can sprinkle it on top if you want cheese. Salt and pepper is still available, so you can sprinkle it on top while you're cooking your egg. And we're just gonna slide it onto our pan. And since we're having breakfast here, we're just gonna scooch our little pan over. And voila. We have our egg and then our egg in the basket for our meal. And that's it. That will be for breakfast for our lab.
All right, looks like today the ladies will be presenting me with the eggs. So take a bite of these eggs right here. Get a little bit of the yolk. So I like to do my over easy eggs. The only addition that I would probably do is add a little hot sauce. Not undercooked, not overcooked, just right. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. This is egg in a nest.
This is great. I bet it tastes great too. The plastic fork's not working too good, but you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. Absolutely delicious. Fantastic.